got this shit knocking low.
All right, the health checks for the podcast have been passed, and this is the Chase Carter Concept Podcast. This is for Thursday, but I'm recording it at 1:38 a.m. right now. I will be driving. I won't be able to do the podcast tomorrow at its normal scheduled time because I will be driving down to see the family for the holidays. So I got to record this. I don't have to, but the 5 people that listen to it, one is my friend Ray, and the other 4 listens are probably my mother listening to it on repeat over and over and over again. Well, this week has been all right. The vaccine has come out. People are getting it. It's making its way. It's an RNA vaccine. I'm learning about things. A lot of things I never thought I would know about, that it's a synthetic delivery system, and it's got to have to protect the medicine. I don't even know what it is, but I listened to a biologist talk about it, and it's very interesting, at least if what he says is true. I don't even know. He could be talking gibberish, just sounding smart. I have no idea. But the way that the RNA vaccine, it's a completely new way. No other vaccine has been administered this way or developed this way. So we'll see. My unprofessional opinion is I'm seeing a lot of people say if you're older or more susceptible to the virus, then get the vaccine. If you're younger, there's no real need for it but then long term, we don't know, because I see those people arguing, well, we don't know what the long-term effects of the vaccine are, so we shouldn't get it. But we don't know what the long-term effects of having COVID are either. So we just don't know. And both sides, it seems like they don't want to say they don't know, instead of just saying, hey, if you fall into a category that's really susceptible to this virus, then get the vaccine. If not, then it's up to you. But now I wonder, are they gonna block you from going places? You can't fly, you can't use public transportation unless you got vaccinated. You have to carry around papers. Is it going to be on your ID? I got vaccinated from this virus that has a 99.7% or whatever it is survival rate. And it's going to be interesting. So now that the vaccine is out, can I go? The most important thing is, can I go to a bar, order a drink, and watch basketball? That's all I want to do. It's the simple things in life. It's the simple things. I got into my girlfriend Corey rage quit today playing video games. She wants to play Red Dead Redemption Online. She wants to be a cowgirl out in the old Western days. She saw a video or saw me playing it, and then so she wanted to try that out. She quit Gears of War. She says she hasn't quit, but she quit. She doesn't want to play that game anymore because she can't jump, and she has to think. She has to get into cover and move around the map in different ways that she's not used to. And I'm trying to get her used to, or show her the plethora of different video games out there. And she's not really liking Gears too much. I mean, it's okay. She's having fun at times. I think I'm gonna have to cram that down her throat. But I think she'll enjoy it. We got one more level. We got the train level at the very end where you fight General Ram, which is classic video game ending. She has to play it. She's gonna get through it, but I thought I'd switch it up because she likes playing games that her and I can play together. So we're gonna play that for a little bit and see how she likes it. She got frustrated because she's not good at riding the horse and controlling it. It's not going where she wants it to go. It's not stopping when she wants it to stop. And I haven't played the game in over a year, so the controls for me there's a lot of stuff in the game. A lot of menus, a lot of secret controls that they don't really show you. Most games you go to the menu You look in the settings, you look into control, and then they show you the whole setup, how the controller's laid out and whatnot. And then, but that's not even, that doesn't even have it. It has like a real basic, it has like one layer of controls. And then all of the other ones are secret, which is interesting. My screensaver keeps coming on. I don't want to turn the screensaver on or off. Minutes resume. Blank. We'll go none for screensaver right now. I had a 5-minute screensaver, but I want to see, I want to make sure that this is recording. All right. Otherwise, how am I going to know? You know? So we're having fun with that so far, but she got mad just not being able to control things. She doesn't like how people were shooting around her, and she ran down. If anyone doesn't know, it's an open world Western game, and there's civilians running around. There's computer controlled characters that the game populates and makes it feel like a real world, but it's not. But then there's also, I would say, a dozen or 16 real players that go around doing missions and stuff. They can interact with you, they cannot interact. So it's kind of like Sea of Thieves in that sense. The most things you can do obviously are cities. So the big cities around the map are usually populated with more people. You're out, in the middle of the desert. You're not going to see a lot of people. You're going to think you're playing by yourself. But then you head off in a direction, 10 minutes in a direction towards, town or whatever, Valentine, and you're going to see 4 or 5 people running around, possibly shooting each other. And it's a chaotic game. There's, a whole bunch of random people playing it. So they're going to go around shooting things, causing a whole bunch of ruckus. But if you don't get involved, then usually they don't, the game systems doesn't really bother you. But she was going through town, and there was a civilian crossing the street, and she just ran him over, and she got charged for trampling. So if you do something illegal in the game, whether it be something minor or not, there will be a witness, and then that witness will go to the authorities. And sometimes it happens instantaneous. It should happen. It should take some time for that witness to pop up. So she trampled somebody, and then she got wanted, and then she tried to hightail it out of the city, and she got caught by the lawman, and she got gunned down. And she's like, "What am I doing wrong? I don't understand." And I'm like, "You committed a crime. That's manslaughter. If the person didn't survive, what are you talking about?" And she's like, "I'm not playing this anymore. I'm taking a break." And 5 minutes before that, I asked her, I was like, "Am I talking to tired, grumpy Corey or normal, ready to listen Corey?" And she's like, "Ready to listen." 5 minutes later, I don't know what my lavria is. 5 minutes later, she's she's a crying infant, a little whiny infant, turning the system off in a small burst of rage. That's a good way of describing her sometimes, a small burst of rage. But it's fun trying to get her to listen to anything when she wants to play with me in the games, and she wants me to tell her how to play the game, but only when she wants me to. Only when she asks. So she wants to play the game, get stuck. So I think I have to be more open instead of telling her about systems in the game that I think are important. I think I'm going to have to just wait for her to discover stuff just naturally in the game. I think that's what I'm going to have to do. Just teach her how to kind of follow me, the map, navigating that whole system, and then just kind of do that, and then instead kind of let her, just discover all of the other things in the game. But I have to do a refresher for this game probably today or tomorrow, and watch a few YouTube videos, Red Dead Online tips and tricks videos, because I'm at a loss. I'm sitting there like, wait, how did I play this? What happened? And they've added a year of DLC to it that I'm not privy to. I don't know. I'm not privy to. I love when people say that. I'm not too sure what it is. I'm like, what is this? What is that? I'm a lawman now. I can be a bounty hunter because when I first played it, you can only be like one or two things. You couldn't do all the extra stuff. But it's fun seeing her want to play a different game. She beat me in Yahtzee by I want to say 200 something points, a whole card. It was ridiculous. And then and then we played again, and I dismantled her. We played 6 columns, 6 games for one card, and I could actually have not played the last game, not added up my last game. I could still beat her, and I think we're in the middle of this week's, and so she owes me in and out. So we will be going home tomorrow. We'll be going to my home. We almost didn't go because my little brother apparently has an allergic reaction, some skin issue, some rash on his arm that they thought was a virus or bacterial infection. That's what they thought at first. They didn't run any blood work because they don't run blood work at the ER or urgent care wherever he went. I'm not too sure. I got bits and pieces of information, and then he went back because he was doing worse, and they tested him for COVID. He didn't have it. At least I didn't get in. My mom says, yeah, they're testing him for COVID, testing him for it. And then they didn't say anything. She didn't say anything afterwards. So I'm guessing he's negative. And, but they gave him antibiotics without knowing. This is what I don't understand about hospitals and urgent care. Because I know they have, you have this symptom and this symptom. So it's most likely this. And tests are expensive, so they don't run tests. They just give you the medicine for it, but it's an antibiotic. So if it's a bacterial infection, I'm guessing the antibiotic should help. But if it's an allergic reaction, that wouldn't help. And then what's it an allergic reaction to? And my brother is not the best communicator in the world. I mean, sometimes, unless you want to talk about anime or, a Bethesda video game, he's not going to really give you much action back. So I don't know, it's just interesting. And then so we weren't going to go because we didn't know what he had, but now it's just an allergic reaction, or my mother's lying, which is also there's a very high chance of that happening. And she listens to this, so hopefully she listened 13 minutes in, because don't trust her 100%. Let's just say that she'll sacrifice her first, I wouldn't say any. Let's see. I've tried to make a biblical reference, but that wouldn't make sense. She'd sacrifice her family for her family. That doesn't make any sense. She would do a lot. Let's just say she'd go a little too far. She'd definitely lie about. She's like, no, I'm not sick at all. She would have COVID, spread it to the whole family just so she can see him on Christmas. And Corey, she is a little immune compromised. She says, and I don't trust her either. She's a woman. Don't trust her. Not 100%. You never know what they're fibbing about. I like men are that much better. But yeah. So let's see what else is going on. Almost got hit by another golf ball. Not close this time. Remember, if you haven't heard the first one, it went whizzing by my head. I heard it before I saw it. That's how quick the golf ball was, and how hard it was hit. So it was hit by a man, and so, and then so I switched sides of the street more towards the fence, and then the fence is really tall in certain areas, and then not, and obviously shorter in others. So I'm lightly jogging because I'm out of shape. Lightly jogging. Foot's been killing me. Like both my feet. I don't know if I shouldn't run if I'm doing more damage to it. I don't know. What am I supposed to do? Just stay off my feet for months and let my plantar fasciitis heal? and then I get fat, and then my knees give out because my knees hurt even more because I'm fat and overweight. So like, what is it? Is it just this never-ending like balance between being hurt? But I don't know. So, but yeah, this other golf ball, but it was like at least 10 feet away, and it wasn't hit nearly as hard. But another golf ball just like dropped off right in front, like a few feet, 10 feet in front of me. I'm like, what the hell? This one wasn't green though. This one was a white one. So lately, very aggressive, very, very aggressive. This country club has become towards me. I don't know what side of the street to run on. You got to be closer to the fence. You got to be away from the fence. So I think closer to the fence on the one part of the road, further away on the other. I see all these old people out playing golf. And I mean really old, like as old as my mother old. 60, 70-year-old people out there in little golf carts beeping around playing golf. It's like, what do you do? What are you doing? You're old, go to the country club, sit down, have an Arnold Palmer, have a margarita, and relax. What are you doing out there? You're taking up space on the golf course. People who are actually trying to golf, you're slowing them down. And then it must be some kind of rinky-dink country club because they have these big, giant golf ball holes. I mean, giant, like big enough you can jump into. It's ridiculous. Why are you having this weird, like Happy Gilmore, National Lampoon version of golf? I don't understand. You have a golf course, make the cups regulation size, and people play it. And if they don't like golf, then they don't play it. They don't have a version of basketball where the hoop is 20 feet in diameter. And it's like everything you throw up goes in. It's everyone can play. No. Put the cups regulation size so everyone understands the rules and leave it there. It's because not enough people want to play that way. And so they're like, how can we get more young people on here drinking? Well, let's make the hole bigger. Let's do it at night with glow-in-the-dark golf balls. Then you don't like golf, and it's okay. Then don't play it. Don't play it. Go do something else. Go learn backgammon or chess. And then chess, watching Queen's Gambit, good show. I'm going to spoil it here in a little bit. So if you haven't watched it, 3, 2, 1. This chick, I don't like how they, what was it? The one thing that I didn't like that did not make sense at all. I did the countdown and I completely lost it in my head. I don't know what's going on with me. I'm not too sure. I know what's going on with me. I'm not very intelligent, but what was it? It was near the end. It didn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense that she didn't. There's a little foster kid, orphan, that was taught chess by a janitor, and then she was incredibly intelligent. She went on to be the greatest chess player of all time, and she's a woman. What was it? Oh, she didn't check on the janitor. An old character showed up when she needed some. Of course, right when she's going in a downward spiral, she lost to the Russian. She's going in a downward spiral. She's doing drugs. She's drinking, and then someone from the foster home shows up. Her friend, the only person that cared about her in the home, showed up. And I look over my girlfriend. She's crying because she's making all these personal connections because she was a foster. She was a foster kid as well. And I want to make fun of the TV show, but I don't want to piss off my girlfriend at the same time. But there's one thing I did notice. There was something with the story that was terrible. I found it really cool when they're going over strategies about how to beat the Russians. They were saying Americans haven't won in so long because the Russians play together. They teach one another. All they're great players. It's more of like a team aspect. And here in America, it's more individualistic. so you don't learn from the best. It's just the best going at each other, but they never sit down and have these long, lengthy study sessions or anything like that. And so at the end, the final game, the game was not postponed. It was put on. The game went too long for one day, and then so they suspended it. They put it on hold for the next day. And so when she went to her hotel room that night, like all of her friends, all of the former chess masters that she played against, like called her up, and her friends that she lost touch with because of her drug and alcohol uh, issues. Then they all figured out kind of how to play the last game this way. And then at the very end, the Russian didn't play something a certain way. And she had to use her superpowers where the chess pieces appeared on the ceiling, but she always needed the drugs to do that. And then this is the first time she did it sober and woo woo woman power. But they didn't go heavy. I was just giving my girl shit. It's like, oh, okay, they're going with this woman thing a little too much. Her just to, rile her up. I can rile her up about that, but if I don't want to do that about the foster care system because that's actual trauma. But there was something I'm talking about this a little bit to try to rejiggle my brain a little bit about what that was. What the thing didn't make sense. The the gay guy showing up, not being honest with her. Yeah, this gay guy like hit on her at the beginning of the show. Didn't tell her that she was gay, or that he was gay. He was in a relationship. But then she apologized for leaving quickly, which was weird. This is years after the incident happened. Oh, what was it? But yeah, she didn't keep in touch with the janitor that taught her everything. And then she goes back to the foster care place, to after the janitor died. She goes back and she goes back into the basement where she learned how to play chess, and that's where the character discovers that the janitor was keeping all the paper clippings of her accomplishments over the years. And he was very proud of her, kind of like a daughter. That was her father figure because she didn't have one. She had a mother figure, but the mom died of alcohol poisoning, or alcohol related sicknesses. It was a good show. And then I'm starting to finish Yellowstone, seasons 1, 2, and 3. I got a 7-day free Peacock subscription. Burned through that. So I think every time there's Yellowstone, gotta watch it. But because there's a real cool how they want to make you root. Obviously, it's for American audiences, but they want to make you root for the owner of the ranch that's in Montana. It's like a 7-generation ranch that he has, and it's just huge, crazy amounts of land in Montana. And all these other companies want to buy it up and build resorts on it, casinos. And so they're doing that on the surrounding parts of the land that he owns. So that's going to drive up. It's insane that this is legal as you. But if somebody wants your land, they can just buy the land around it, build really nice places on that, which will drive the property tax up on your land. And so I'm thinking, but then I remembered it could only go up a certain percentage every year. But even then, like how much? I don't think you should be penalized for owning land, and then people buy that, the land around it. I think they should be assessed for what it has on it. If some land has casino, it's not going to be worth as much as you should only pay the property taxes if you sell it. I mean, if you keep it, but then people wouldn't sell, so you want to incentivize people to sell. It's a whole big rabbit hole that I haven't really thought too much about, but just talking about it now, I'm like, how does this even work? Or is this a made up thing that the show creates to make drama? So that way we watch it. But yeah, Kevin Costner's great, like he always is. Real good show. I'd recommend that one. I bothered my mother for her cable password So I'm watching HBO. I watched the Showtime app as well. She had what was that good show? The Comedy Store. That's good. It goes through the whole history of the Comedy Store in LA. It goes over Richard Pryor, Sam Kinison, and comedies, people who are doing comedy today. It goes to Joe Rogan, and it interviews Nate Bargatze, Tom Segura, Burt Kreischer, everybody. Like there's one of the funniest things that made me laugh was Bobby Lee. He's sitting there they're talking about Mitzi Shore, she female, the owner of the Comedy Store, and so they were talking about her and how she was nice with the comics, and she would have the comics do her favors, and then it cuts to Bobby. They're speaking of this, and it cuts to Bobby Lee, and he's in one of the hallways at the Comedy Store, and he's talking. He's like, "Yeah, we did a whole bunch of things for her. Yeah, like she was, she was like a mother to us and everybody, and then once a week, she'd invite me over, and I'd give her a massage, just like everybody else." And he's dead straight, just playing it dead straight. And it's the funniest look. And then the interviewer goes, "Bobby, no one said that before. No one's done that." He's like, "No, everybody did it." Mitzi said everybody did it. And then the interviewer, Mike Baker, says, "No, I interviewed everybody. You're the last one, and no one has done that. They've, helped her out, was nice to her, but no, you're the only one that massaged her." And Bobby Lee just starts laughing. And it was one of the only times I paused it, and it was just had a good laugh for 45 seconds to like a minute. Oh, that was good. It was a good TV show. And then I'm watching, what's the thing right now? The Flight Attendant with Kaylee Cuoco. That's good. She had a few scenes in the first episode. I've only seen one episode, and there's this spoiler alert if you hadn't seen any of the trailer. She's out drinking with this guy. She's traveling all over the place. She meets a customer, someone who's flying around, meets with them, hangs out with them, sleeps with them. They spend it seems like a few days together. It doesn't seem like a night. It seems like a few days, a day or two. And then he winds up dead in the bedroom. And she doesn't remember killing him. She blacks out. And then it's like this whole murder mystery kind of thing where she thinks she did it, maybe, possibly, but she's not really too sure. But she's dealing with possibly killing someone and then leaving somebody there, cleaning up parts of the scene because she freaks out. She's in a different country. She's just all over the place. And so either she killed him or somebody set it up to look like she killed him. So either way, she's going to jail in a different country. And it for a moment it stops, and you're like, wait, what would I do if that were to happen to me? Would I clean it up? Would I just leave? Would I pretend I didn't see it? Just get my belongings and get out of there? So it's this interesting thought exercise that the show made me do. I was like, what would I exactly if I met some strange girl, I woke up and she was just dead laying there? I'd be like, well, they're already dead. Why should I have to die? Someone's gonna find this person. If I'm pretty sure I didn't do this. But then shouldn't you go to jail? If you're the kind of person that gets drunk and kills somebody, shouldn't you turn yourself in? But if you were to do that, I don't know. That's interesting. I think I'm a terrible person for discovering that I would just leave. Now, if it's someone I cared about, I don't think I can leave. But if it's just some stranger, I don't know. That person could be a killer. Maybe I killed a murderer. I can maybe rationalize it with that. Human beings are so terrible. I'm like, yep, I would leave. I would leave. But then if it's a man, it's different, because if you leave a woman in bed dead, I think that's different than leaving a man. I would say it's the same thing when people say men and women are, they should be treated equal. equal rights. I think they should have equal rights, but I don't think they should be treated differently because there's two different things. What was the because if a woman is propositioned for sex for say by her male boss, it's like, yeah, you can have that, that raise or that promotion only if you do this for me, some sexual favor. Be like, that's disgusting, and that guy should be destroyed. He should be fired. He should be beat up. He should be in jail. But then if a woman did that, say my little brother Danny is working at Food for Less, and his female manager was like, well, if you want this promotion to the deli, you're gonna have to, run me out a few times. I'd be like, would you go ahead and do that? Do it. Go work at the deli. Use your meat to, cut some meat. I don't know. It's just completely different. If I had a daughter, I would be extremely overprotective of her. I had one funny thought. If I had a daughter and if she was too tan, she would be grounded. The amount of days that she'd be grounded was the amount of how she was tan. I was like, no one told you can go outside. You are 4 shades darker than you were yesterday. That's 4 weeks grounded. And pull out some Home Depot paint supply, like color samples. Yep, 4 shades darker. Get in your room. Give me your cell phone for 4 weeks or whatever they have back then. Give me your brain implant memory chip. 4 weeks without it, you are not constantly connected. Your brain can't be constantly connected to the internet for 4 weeks. To me, I don't know if I would want to have kids. I don't know. Definitely not right now. But then maybe I'm just selfish and I just don't want to. They say, some people say your life is over, but then other people who seem like they have it all put together seem like they really enjoy their kids, but they're not the kind of parent. I can't stand the parents who they have kids they say they love, they're posting all these pictures, and then they have a weekend without kids and go, ooh, a week and a half without kids. And to me, I wouldn't. I don't know. It's just I don't know. I think it's something stupid that I have to deal with. I have to get over, because parents can act however they want around their kids. It's their kids. It's like, oh my god, you should have kids. Or if they look at you weird because you don't have kids, it's just like, I get it. You have to give up your life. You have to give up pretty much your dreams. If I had 3 kids and I would still be in the Navy. I'd be like, nope. I'd have to do it. This is a way to provide for them, but then I would be in a miserable job that I hate for 20 something years just so I can provide for them. And I'm so happy I didn't knock up. So I'm immensely happy I had long hair in high school and no girls wanted to have sex with me. So I was able to kind of dodge the bullet a little bit. I'm glad my hot blonde girlfriend in middle school that I would have slept with dumped me in middle school, and then by the time I got to high school, no girls wanted to. There was one cute blonde girl. She liked me. I totally messed that up. Totally messed it up. I had no idea how to read. I still don't know how to read women, to be honest with you. I pick up on more vibes now. By more vibes, I mean probably 7% more vibes than the 0 in high school. But what was it? Her name was Anna. She was a German foreign exchange student, and she would always say hello to me. She would always say, I would walk by her group of friends, all girls, all hot girls who ignored me completely. But I was kind of an asshole. I made fun of a lot of people. I still make fun of a lot of people, but they all didn't like me. But she would stick her head out of the group and kind of get like wave at me, just trying to something about those German girls that like dirty, greasy, long-haired guys. I would say I bet she's dating some kind of hippie right now. But she would always say hi, And then her friend Angie came up to me one day, and Angie did not talk to me at that point. Because I used to make fun of her a lot, and I felt terrible for that. I feel terrible about it now. Loved the fact that I made fun of her back then. God, I was an asshole. So Angie came over to where I usually get picked up from school with my mother, and by picked up I mean probably 45 minutes to an hour and a half late every day. My mother was. So I'm sitting there, and Angie comes up and talks to me, and she's like, "Hey, do you?" She's like playing casual. I'm like, this is weird. Why is she hanging out with me? Maybe this is her new spot to be picked up. I thought, maybe she changed everything about her picked up schedule. I have no idea. And so at the end of the conversation, she goes, "Hey, do you like Anna?" And I thought for some reason that Angie liked me. I didn't know that girls send their friends over to say that, to see if I was like, couldn't she just say, "Hey, Anna likes you. She wants you to ask her out"? That would have been just dumb it down for us. We have no idea. Zero clue. Because if we're, especially in high school, guys' self-esteem's, most guys' self-esteem very low. So you kind of want to build us up. Help us, please. Help us. But no, she was like, "Yeah, do you like Anna?" And I didn't want to hurt Angie's feelings. I thought Angie liked me for whatever reason. So I was like, "No," just said no. And then, I mean, Anna still said hi to me, but not nearly as much. And then a few years after high school, I was thinking about it. I was like, "Oh, wait a minute. God damn it. Son of a," but that's good though. See, that's good that I didn't know that. Her and I would have probably hooked up. She would have ravaged me, had her way with me, thrown me around a little bit. Wouldn't mind it. But it's funny, you go back and look, it's like, oh wait, this person probably liked me. But you get a completely different vibe for whatever reason at that time. Yeah, but it's interesting. If you have kids at that age, or young in your 20s, even in your 30s, do you really know what you're doing? I mean, do you really know what you're doing at any age? If I'm 45 and have kids, I'd love to have kids at 50 like my dad. Just be this old grumpy guy, but still be in good shape like my dad was. My dad was still playing basketball with me. He was going out on runs when I was little. I still remember the first time I beat him in a foot race. Oh, that felt so good. We had a dirt road behind my grandmother's house. Not my grandmother's house anymore, but that's besides the point. I remember beating him the first time and just still remember the sound of the dirt. I think we grew up too competitive. I think for me and my brother, just beating the shit out of each other competitively in anything. But I think that's good in a way. But I wish I could relate that to other parts of my life, because there's certain. I wish I had that in school as far as my schoolwork goes. You get me on a basketball court or some kind of competitive game, and I want to learn this game. I want to figure it out. I want to study it. I want to, something I enjoy doing. But just schoolwork, and I wish history. I love history. I love reading about different civilizations and all that. But back then I didn't. I couldn't have cared less. Couldn't have cared less. Science. I'm into science now, but it's just weird that I'm more open to it now than I was back then. And I wasn't even. I can't even make the excuse that I was horny and having sex with all these girls. I can't even do that. I was alone watching professional wrestling and basketball, playing video games. It's interesting. Of what, like how you're. I wish the only regret I would say is I wish I still played basketball. I wish I had stuck with it in high school, and then I probably would have got a scholarship to some small school, but then had a different life. But then if I had a different life, I wouldn't be this person who I am now, who I kind of like. I'd say I'd like 65, 70% of who I am. But would I be a different person? I wouldn't be with Corey. Corey's the best girl I've ever been with. Of course, there's not a lot to even say that. As far as relationship goes, flings countless ever since I started work. And that's another thing. Girls in high school and in college had long hair. I was awkward, didn't work out. Cut my hair, started working out. I was still awkward. Still, my personality didn't really change. But all of a sudden, all these girls, attention, more attention, more attention. You shallow little horse. Oh, all I want is a guy with a personality that can make me laugh. No, you don't. No, you don't. You want Tom Hardy, who says not annoying things to you. That's okay, just average personality. Don't give me that. Then my mother lied to me. Oh, you hold the girl up on a pedestal, you treat her like a princess. Girls don't want to be held. They want to do they want you to do nice little things for them, and then pretty much kind of treat them like normal human beings. No, treat them like a princess. If a woman sees a man doing too many nice things for them, it's like, that guy's soft. What does this guy want? He's up to something. If someone's too nice to me, I don't like people doing favors for me. I'm like, what is your angle? What are you trying to get at here, lady? But yeah, but doing nice things for someone to get their attention, you're just encouraging gold digging people. And notice I didn't say whores, because gold diggers, they go both ways. They're on both sides of the fence. I've been talking 40 minutes about nonsense. So I'm going to get into some news. IGN reported. I like how the IGN video game podcast and just entertainment is now writing columns on just pretty much anything. So scientists confirmed the negative health effects of humans traveling to space. Human space colonies may be further away than we think. Unfortunately, scientists have long been researching the health effects on space travel and humans, and new discoveries indicate health effects can be detrimental. As explained by Science Alert, we've known that space travel is dangerous for a long time. After all, we've been doing it for over 50 years now, allegedly. But but if our plan is to colonize Mars in the future, it's important we understand just what is at stake. According to the discoveries made as part of NASA's twin study, extended time in space can affect blood flow to the brain, alter the ratio of bacteria in your gut biome, and cause temporary visual impairments, among other effects due to the microgravity found outside of Earth. I know they did this because there was a guy who spent 200 days in space, I want to say. Some large number, but he has a twin. And so they did studies about how the body's changed from the guy who was up in low Earth orbit and the guy who was here down on the ground. And they found all these, minute, not minute, but gradual changes. It was pretty interesting. But then what would you go to Mars if you could? Would you be one of the first dozen or so there just to say you were there? Would your name be on a plaque for everybody? If you're not one of the main people, you'd be forgotten about. I'd want to be the first guy on Mars. If I'm not the first, nah, I'm good. I'll die. If I'm the first person on Mars, just, the Lance Armstrong of the moon, the Lance Armstrong of Mars, I would do that. I think that would be pretty cool because your name would forever be, I'd have to be older, I would say. Take 50. Send my old 50-year-old ass up there. I'm good. I can give up 40 years for my name to, that first guy. Yep. College dropout. Yep. Yeah, didn't really do much with his life, but they'd send him up there. Yeah, that's true. I don't know. Would you? And then there was some article I read that there's a vacation spot. They're going to have vacation by 2023 is their goal, to have basically a hotel in space that you go to. And it's 9.5 million for a week and a half or 2 weeks. And they're already booked up for their first, I think, 2.5 to 3 years. That was something I just skimmed through. I just remembered it right now, but it's interesting. Very, very interesting. What is that little? Okay, come on. Can I switch apps, please? Can I switch apps? No? Okay. Nobody loves me. Got it. Including my phone. This is funny. Official sees 27,400 artifacts looted by single French treasure hunter. If he's a treasure hunter, then he's an unidentified man accumulated a sizable collection of ancient coins, jewelry, accessories, and sculptures. There's a pretty cool picture of all these little trinkets that this dude had. But what, I mean, do they know that he got them illegally? Last fall, Patrice, a Frenchman living in Belgium, told investigators that he'd used a metal detector to unearth 14,154 Roman coins at his recently purchased apple orchard in Ginglum? I don't know. About 40 miles east of Brussels, and his claims raised suspicions. And officials at Belgian agencies of immovable heritage decided to coordinate with French customs officers to inspect the find. As Daniel, in some notes, the Guardian uses a metal detector for anything other than scientific research is outlawed in France. Wow. Under Belgian, like these fucking people. You gotta leave it where it lies so the government can pick it up and use it. Under Belgian law, however, personal use of metal detectors is permitted, and treasure hunters who uncover objects on their own property are legally entitled to those items. Well, I fucking hope so. Per translation. Yeah, I've never seen, she adds, I've never seen so many coins. Opened up the car trunk, and so this guy turned it all in? As officials inspected the site, Patrice's story quickly fell apart. Oh, this guy. But why would he talk about this stuff? If he's actually taking this stuff illegally and he knows it, maybe he was just talking. He was trying to sell some of it, and he was just like, yeah. Later, the French authorities searched Patrice's home. They found more than 13,000 other rare objects, including bronze and Iron Age bracelets and necklaces, Merovingian buckles and belts, and assorted items dated to the Middle Ages and the Renaissance. Overall, Het Numsblade reports authorities estimated that the stash is worth around $1 million. So let this guy keep the shit. I like how, unless he stole it, if he went around a metal detector and picked up loose change, no one would ask him to. That bugs me. This guy found $1 million randomly on the side of the street in 20s, but he did it over the course of a few years. People, well, you kind of got to give the cash back to the banks. No, he found it. He should be able to keep it. Fucking thieves. This is what I'm talking about. This is crazy. And today's crazy economy. He's social distancing. He's out there with a metal detector. I did want to read this. This one looked really cool. Oh, alien hunters detect a mysterious radio signal from nearby star. National Geographic. What is going on here? Science hunters detect mysterious radio signal from nearby star. It's almost certainly not extraterrestrial telegram, unfortunately, but waves that seem to come from the vicinity. Proxima Centauri will help astronomers refine their search techniques. I don't know how. See, subscribe now. Blah, 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 blah. No, I don't want to subscribe now. Continue reading. Unless it's probably not going to let me. Breakthrough listen. A decade-long search for alien broadcasts. Enter, explore topics. No, I gotta keep reading. I gotta keep reading. I have to. Nope, I don't want that. Why do you have a website that you have to give the website your email address to read it? Do you not want people to read your stupid fucking website? Here's another one, space.com. Similar findings may tell scientists about magnetic fields around exoplanets. Scientists may have, how do you, okay, first of all, if you detect a radio signal and then say, well, we may have detected, you either detected something or you didn't. I don't understand the different astronomers behind the new research used radio telescope in the Netherlands to study 3 different stars known to host exoplanets. The researchers compared what they saw in observations of Jupiter, diluted as if being seen from a star system dozens of light years away, and one star system stood out, Tau Bootes, Bootes, which contains at least one exoplanet. If the detection holds up, it could open the door to better understanding of the magnetic fields of exoplanets and therefore the exoplanets themselves, the researchers hope. We present one, in quotes, we present one of the first hints of detecting an exoplanet in the radio realm. What does that mean? Jake Turner, an astronomer at Cornell University and lead author of the new research, said in a statement, we make, well, now see, and then I'm sitting here reading and the phone has been sitting here, and then all of a sudden the website scrolls up by itself. breathe. So we present one of the first hints of detecting exoplanet, and we make the case of emission by the planet itself. We case for the emission, the strength and polarization of the radio signal, and the planet's magnetic field is compatible with theoretical predictions. However, Turner and his colleagues aren't yet positive that the signal they detected really is coming from the planet, dubbed Taboots. The researchers called for the additional observation of the system, which is 51 light years away from Earth in the constellation Boots. That's where I want to be from, constellation Boots. The new research actually began at Jupiter. The researchers had previously studied the planet's radio emissions and then tweaked the measurements to reflect the effect they expected closeness to the host star and distant from Earth would have had on their observations of an exoplanet. What? This might be too far for me. I read the first 2 paragraphs and it sounded like it was good. But then you dive deeper into the article and you just realize, hey, I'm stupid and I don't understand things. And then this doesn't work either. You go to your Google collections, you have it all open, you click on it, and then you click back, and then everything has to reload, and then it also scrolls up to the very top for some reason. You just want to scream. You just want to scream out loud. Okay, this is probably the last one I'm going to do. Smithsonian Mag. Ancient European hunters carved human bones into weapons. This is pretty cool, and it shows this really sharp bone, and it's this jagged edges. It's like a saw. It's awesome. Okay, yep. Here comes the ads. Yep. Okay, yep. I don't want to read. Just please tell me. Just have the ads on the side. Why are you making me? Why is it not? It won't let me scroll. Okay, fuck you. You don't want me to read your goddamn thing? You already got the hit? You already got the view? Swear to Christ. I wish you can block websites so they don't show up in your feed anymore. What is that, Smithsonian? Yeah, Smithsonian. Go fuck yourself. You probably got $30 million in the new stimulus package while average Americans that need money got nothing. Anyway. Cyberpunk's still good. Let's see, Kyrie Irving basketball. Who's my NBA? Let's talk about basketball here for the last 7 minutes. Yeah, Tatum banks in a 3-pointer. I'm so happy for him. Pretty sure he didn't mean to do that. It's so fun. I thought this is so stupid. 76ers edge Wizards to spoil Westbrook's triple-double. The picture they show is Westbrook scoring over Embiid and Simmons. The 76ers won. Why do we play the game? To win. What the fuck is Russell Westbrook's picture of this doing on the cover, on the front page of NBA.com? See, here says Tatum banks in 3-pointer to stun Bucks in opener. Not to stun. Tatum's good. That's not a stunner that he hit a step back shot. It's a little interesting that he banked it in. He didn't mean to do that, but he missed 100% of the shots you don't take. So good for him. I'm trying to see. It's like the Eastern Another pop-up. Why? Why do you have pop-ups? They're advertising NBA.com while I'm on NBA.com. Doesn't make any sense. So the Eastern Conference, who do I think is going to make the playoffs in the East? I would say the number one seed probably going to be between, if the Brooklyn Nets are healthy, and the Milwaukee Bucks. Milwaukee Bucks for sure, probably. So Milwaukee, Miami will probably make it. And health, I think the Wizards are going to. Charlotte, I would say no. Knicks, no. Bulls, hell no. Pistons, no. Toronto Raptors, they might be out. They might be in. Celtics, yes. Cleveland, no. So let's see here. And then you got the play-in. You got the play-in tournament. So now, NBA play-in tournament. Because I'm pretty sure it's 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th seed. Tentative schedule 70. Yep, that's what I clicked on. You moron. Second half. Okay, that's cool. Are they going to explain at all? March 2nd half of the regular season play-in tournament. Play-in tournament, the 7th, 8th seed in each conference will play each other for the 7th spot in the playoffs. The 9th and 10th seed teams will play each other for a chance to play the loser of the 7th and 8th game. The winner of that final matchup will get the 8th spot in the playoffs. Oh, okay. So 7th and 8th. Oh, hopefully that got on the microphone. So 7 and 8 will play each other. Why are you popping up? This is so fucking dumb. God damn it. Just ads pop up for no reason. Like I'm already on the site. Why is it more ads? This makes people want to not go to your website. That's interesting. Because that wasn't the way it was before, I don't believe. So the 7th and 8th will play each other. Is it a one game? 7th and 8th will play each other in a conference, play each other for the 7th and 9th and 10th teams will play each other for a chance. The loser. Because I remember the play-in tournament at the bubble, the 8th seed had to win one game, and then the 9th seed had to win two. So the higher seeds had to win less games. So it's kind of, I don't know. They're just trying to get more money, but that's besides the point. Okay. So I want top eight teams in the East. I want to do this just real quick off the top of my head. Indiana Pacers, maybe. Pacers, maybe. Yes. And no, for sure for me. Orlando, I would say no. 76ers, Ben Simmons, and yeah, I'd say yes for sure. I'd hope so for their sake. Atlanta Hawks, I would say no. ATL, sorry, you gotta go. Cleveland, no. Boston, I would say yes. They're gonna make it. Nets, yes. Bucks, yes. Just want to make sure I get 8 here. Bucks, yes. Miami Heat, yes. 1, 2, 3, 4. The Heat are the 5th team I got in right now. This is great. It's great podcasting right now. But it's something I wanted to do. Wizards, excuse me. Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal. I like that team. I think they'll make the playoffs. Those two guys. I think if you got Russell Westbrook in the East, I'm pretty sure you're going to make the final, or not the final, probably the finals actually. Hornets, no. Let's see. New York Knicks, no. I would say. Bulls, no. So sad. That team. Pistons, no. And then Toronto, maybe. That's all the teams. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, Pacers and Toronto. So, how do I want to seed 1. I would say my predictions: Bucks 1, Nets 2, Wiz, Celtics. I would say Celtics 3 because they're younger. Heat 76ers, Heat. I would say 76ers 4, Heat 5, Wiz 6, Toronto 7, Pacers 8, Hornets, Knicks, Bulls, Pistons, Orlando 9, Pistons 10, Knicks, Cavs, Hornets, and Atlanta. Pistons 10? Maybe? Okay. That's East. That's my predictions. Then now West. Let's see what we got here. This is the maybe crew. This is the yes crew. And this is the no crew. Utah Jazz. Let's say yes for the Jazz. I'd say they're in the playoffs. San Antonio Spurs, I would say no. Clippers, yes. They're making it. Phoenix Suns. Ooh, that's a maybe. I'll put them in the maybe. Maybe pile. Right now, I got to think about that a little bit more. Sacramento Kings, no. No. New Orleans Pelicans. I'd say maybe for the Pels. Maybe. They're young though. Timberwolves. No. I'd say no. I just wrote no. Timber. I'm so smart. Timberwolves, Nuggets, yes, I would say for the Nugs. Dallas, I would say yes. So Dallas, that's 4. Lakers, no. I mean, I'm just kidding. Yes. It's gonna be it's gonna be a good season. Grizzlies, yes. Ja Morant. Blazers. Oh, I would say they got better. I would say Blazers, yeah. So Portland there. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got one more team to go in between Golden State, Houston Rockets, or Oklahoma City. This is where it is. So all these other teams can be maybes because we don't know, obviously. But I would say the Houston Rockets, as constructed, are probably the best team. So I would say Rockets. If James Harden is normal, which he isn't, Warriors maybe. I think it's gonna be too much. And then Thunder, I would say no. I mean, they're obviously rebuilding. Timberwolves, they have enough talent. No, they don't. Spurs, yes. Suns, Pels. I would say Suns or Pels for that 8 spot. So let's see. I think the Grizzlies are going to have a better season than most people think. I believe Dallas isn't going to be healthy because of Kristaps. Lakers are going to take it easy, so they might. I think the Clips are going to do the same thing. So I would say that 1 seed is This is tough here. This is tough. I'm having it. Clippers could be number 1. The Nuggets could be the number 1, or the Lakers. Make a bold prediction and say the Grizzlies. I haven't looked too much into their roster or watched them play too much. But okay, so I'll say Lakers 1, Grizzlies 2. I'm liking the Grizzlies. Clippers 3, Nuggets 4, Dallas 5, Jazz 6, Portland 7, Rockets 8, Suns 9, Pels 10. That's what I'm going to say. And those, ladies and gentlemen, are my extremely boring NBA basketball playoff predictions for the 21-22 season. Or 20, what would this be? 2021 season. All right. Well, that's been the Chase Carter Concept Podcast. Hope you enjoyed it. A little tired. Apologize if I'm all over the place. But it is 2:43 in the morning, and I wanted to get this done. So I'll definitely make it up to my friends and family who listen to this next week. I hope you guys have a good holiday. Merry Christmas to everybody and to my family members, to all of them. You're not getting any Christmas presents, not a one. All right, you guys have a good one and take it easy. Easy on you.
You got this shit knocking low.